Hi, I'm KetoDick, and this is going to be cooking with KetoDick. Now, a lot of people ask me what sort of keto stuff I cook, and that's Molly. She's creeping in, she's in the show today. I don't know why, but she's decided she needs to investigate. So, me and Molly are going to teach you how to cook keto. Now, when I cook keto, I cook like normal people, so this is going to be real quick. Here we have a Hamilton Beach bottom of the line. Alright, it's slightly bigger than the bottom of the line, but I think it's like $30. 2 setting slow cooker. A lot of you guys have Instapots and Pressure Ninja, this and that. All that's cool. I love all those things, right? But for right now, we don't need that. So I just take the lid off, right? We have a 2.8 pound package of pork chops, and the reason why is because they were on sale, $1.99 a piece. So we got $5.57 worth of pork chops for the meal prep for this week. Again, failure to plan is planning to fail. Then we got some apple cider vinegar. We're not even going to talk about this long enough. We're just going to a little dash in there. Not even, that's the last we'll see of the apple cider vinegar. Cholulas. I like stuff a little spicy. I'm eating with somebody else, so I'm going to just a dash. Not much, just for flavor, just like that, right? And then, because the pork chops are rather lean, and this is going to be a whole 9 pork chops, whole stick of butter, and that'll just melt down. So there we go. There's that, right? Trash can behind the camera, solid. Washed my hands right before we got started here. So we got pork chops coming in. Now, we're just going to peel this off right here. Just so you can see, I'm doing this whole meal plan thing from start to finish in front of you guys, because it really doesn't take long. It's gonna be one of my shortest videos. I almost fell down slipping on my PJs right there. So, pork, in they go, right? Get a little bit of salt. Salt the pork chops there. And then we got this sweet and smoky salt-free McCormick's basic seasoning. You know, the #1 free kind of calorie you're gonna get on keto is seasonings, right? So they're high flavor, they're low calorie, dry seasonings. They're what are gonna replace a lot of your sugary sauces. So I've got maybe about 1/3 of this bottle left. It's 2.25 ounces. So we're dealing with maybe an ounce of spice. Whole thing. Dump that all in there. That's gone, right? It's like a $3 bottle. Put like $1 of seasoning on your food. White people, I'm talking to you. All right. So then we got the pork hands. We're just gonna put it in here, mix it up, squeeze through, break up this butter a little bit, rub it on the pork. Get all that rubbed together. Mix it around, a little bit of applesauce vinegar on it, apple cider vinegar, applesauce vinegar, whatever. Then you get a pork chop that looks, you know, kind of red on both sides, all seasoned up. Then just layer them in here, put my little chunks of butter up on top. And that's it. That was cooking with KetoDick. We now have a meat tray to throw away, and like I said, that's 2.8 pounds of pork chops. And we put the lid on it. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna be off camera washing my hands for just a second. If you have any questions about the recipe, you can go ahead. But you could have seared these pork chops first, of course. After they're done, you can shred them, or you can lift them out as little chunks, or you can break them into chunks. You can put them over cauliflower rice. You can shred them up, put them on a low-carb tortilla, make yourself kind of pork tacos, pork burritos. Some of those low-carb tortillas, some of those flax tortillas are really excellent and can fit inside your macros. And this is why I don't have a cooking channel, people. When people say, oh, you eat keto, that's so weird. You know, it's like most people use oils to cook, use normal seasonings, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and then here we go. Ready, everybody? Ta-da! All right, now I could leave this on live. Wouldn't that be a trip if I just moved this over and just live streamed the crock pot all day, just on Facebook's dollar? I might actually do some of that. I just randomly turn it back on and be like live with Crock-Pot. Okay, I'm done. That was the second video this morning. That was me doing meal prep for days. So I don't know if somebody was watching the timer, but that's all it takes to do keto. Just right there. And if I were you, I would go ahead and do some chicken. Then I would do some beef. And I'd cube all that stuff up and put it in your fridge. I mean, why not have a tasting tray in your fridge, right? Some pork, some chicken, some beef. And just, you know, because the grazing is what gets most people. So make yourself some steak cubes, make yourself some chicken cubes, have just little bites of something that you can go in the fridge, pop open a Tupperware and just, you know, just get a little bit of lean protein in when you're hungry. That's it, you know? Live with the Crock-Pot. Yeah. Oh, I'm crowding the shot, sorry. The Crock-Pot needs to be in the shot. This is the star right here, Hamilton Beach. It's my buddy. Kendra says, sounds good. Now, this is where I'm going to bust on some of you. I've had some ideas. People keep telling me I have good ideas. I want to see it this year. I'm like a nasty high school teacher. I told everybody I want them to have, you know, 3 or 4 go-to meals complete with side dishes, plus the macros figured out that they can use in 2019 when they don't know what else to do. Food they're going to have in stock every day, all year round, like a kitchen, like you're never gonna be out of it. Like if I came to your restaurant and I was like, hey, Olive Garden, I want some chicken Alfredo. You're like, I'm sorry, we don't have chicken Alfredo. You can't do that at Olive Garden. Be like, I want some unlimited salad and breadsticks. So like, actually, we're out of breadsticks. Like that's not what unlimited means. So what does unlimited mean for you? I wanna see unlimited stall breaker or unlimited sirloin steak or unlimited whatever, but I want you to have up to 5 recipes, but at least 1, maintenance people too, that help you set up your macros for the day, right? That get you moving in the right direction. So if you're in a lean protein, high fiber, low carb, low fat weight loss phase, it might be something like chicken, broccoli, and mushrooms. Or it might be something like sirloin, steak, eggs, and later in the day, white fish and kale. Who knows? I don't know. But you can decide. I'm not gonna do your meal planning for you, and obviously my cooking channel sucks. I didn't touch almond flour. There was no erythritol. Like, it's like I've never even heard of ketosis. I don't know what I'm doing. If somebody doesn't drizzle MCT oil on this, I'm probably fired. I'll have to delete the channel. I'm positive. Can somebody add something bulletproof? Anything bulletproof. Anything bulletproof at all needs to go in there. I'm sure of it. Oh, I'm gonna lose my job. Anyways, this has been Keto Cooking with Dick. I want to see you guys actually say, hey, these are the recipes that are my go-to. And then all these people always say, KetoDick is so helpful. Thank God you do what you do. And then some of you don't pay me for coaching, which is fine. By all means, I provide everything for free. But if you're going to use my advice for free and be like, oh, you're so helpful, and then you're going to say, hey, you gave me great ideas. I really should come up with 3 to 5 recipes and figure out the macros. And those will be my go-to meals, you know, that my family, partner, spouse can make for me that are on plan, that are going to help me achieve my goals all year long. I can print them out, put them in a binder, put them in my kitchen, then put them in a thread. Help the other people that are maybe too lazy to do what you just did and put it in there. I know they should do it too. All of you should do it too. I did it. 2 different versions of stall breaker are up there. Create your own stall breaker. Give somebody an idea of one day what they can eat, what you eat. Kara Wanoski, specifically appointing you because you have the most food photos of anybody in the whole group. I'm sure I butchered your last name. My apologies to your entire lineage. But I want to see some people post some recipes. I want to see people's actual plates and the carbs and the proteins and the fats on those meals. I want to know what is your go-to meal that you can eat a lot, that's actually good, that you've actually tried. I don't want anybody looking up a recipe, you go keto recipes, keto meatloaf. Go ahead and post something you've actually eaten, something you've actually made. It can have come from an internet recipe, but I want you to tell people what you eat in a day. What is it that helps move you forward? You know, if you're getting this information for free, if it's helping change your life, help change somebody else's life, tell somebody your secrets, post below. If you're watching live, I want you to hit an L so I know you're here with me, and R if you're watching the rebroadcast. And for those of you who are asking questions, I'm ignoring you. Most likely you were watching the rebroadcast. Nidia Gonzalez says she wants to see. So the macros for this are going to be kind of fairly simple. there's 1 stick of butter, and the Cholula is negligible, the apple cider vinegar is negligible, and the seasonings are basically micro carbs, but not really countable. So you're basically looking at almost pork chops and butter, and how much butter is on your pork chop and how much sauce you put on the pork chop is going to determine the macros there. I see some people streaming in with the lives. I definitely appreciate you guys giving me feedback as we go here. Before I sign off, whenever I do one of these videos, I try to get anybody's questions. Is there anybody stuck right now? I hope a lot of you are doing reboots. This week in particular has been rough for me because I had so many carbs over break. I'm basically like re-going through the introduction period. So I've had some cravings I've had to push through. Got back to boxing this week, but what are your questions? What are your comments? Do you have anything you're stuck on? Do you need any advice before I head out and live my weekend? I will, by the way, come back and give you some video of my shameless, dirty, it's a cooking show, right? Let's get a close-up of the pot. That is what we've got going on in there. Let's take the lid off for you. Oh, it's giving me crap about the orientation, but I think you guys can all see it. That's fine. So I have to make sure it's actually plugged in. I've made that mistake before. Turn the crock pot on, it's not plugged in. Ha! We almost got ourselves in trouble. It was in fact not plugged in. Now it's plugged in. So now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. See, my cooking show is so basic that it only had that many steps and I didn't plug in the crock pot. So, I don't know. I managed to lose a lot of weight. You don't have to be a great cook. You don't need complicated. I mean, just for the sake of it being a keto show, I'm just going to take this bag of almond flour and we can just there. I used almond flour in my broadcast. Now it's a keto cooking broadcast. By the way, this is King Arthur's almond flour, brought to you by the Knight of King Arthur. Knights of the Round Table. I don't have any round tables. I don't even know if I'm allowed to use this stuff. All my tables are square. He'd be very disappointed. We've learned nothing. Hundreds of years. But also, some of you have asked what sweeteners I use. I typically go with erythritol. This is Z-Sweet, but it's chemically just erythritol. So it's going to be the same as Swerve for most of you guys. Other than that, I cleaned up the area for the broadcast, but for those of you who want to know the truth behind my life, yikes! Somebody come clean my kitchen. Anyways, this has been KetoDick. I have not gotten any questions coming in the last few minutes, so I'm going to head off. I'll post another live of when I mess with the pork a little bit later. There's lots of ways to eat it. You can shred it. You can put it with some eggs. You can serve it just as with a side of vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus would all go well with it. You could shred it up, add a little bit of salsa, maybe a little bit of shredded cheese, and put it on one of those low-carb tortillas or some sort of keto egg cloud bread crap. I've never made any of the keto breads. I probably will this year because now I'm doing it just for like everybody. I should do it just to know things for people that want to know. But for me, I just eat mostly meats and vegetables. I don't need, this bag of almond flour is ultra full because I don't use it very often. When I do use it, I use it just for like when I'm going to fry up pork chops and I want them crispy. Again, for those of you who are like, did he just throw raw pork chops in this crock pot? I did. For those of you who are like, I thought you said you're good at cooking. I am. And we could have seared these. We could have put them under the broiler. We could have rubbed a little bit of peanut oil and salt on there, put them under the broiler, got some browning, and then while they're still raw, thrown them in here and slow cook them over time. But the point of this video is these are going to be delicious. All right. And if I gave these to any of my friends and they're like, dude, you should have browned this under the broiler first, I'd be like, you're right, but also, this is delicious. All right, so I don't want to hear about it. You put this with some cauliflower mashed potatoes, or you make some crazy like contraption where you put mashed potatoes together with this and then some grated cheese and then put it on a tortilla and you make like, potato flautas or something. I don't know the Mexican words for the different compositions, but you could make all sorts of cool stuff with this. Or you could just eat it as pork chops. It's up to you. But my point was it took like a second, right? We opened the package, we dumped it in there. I rustled it around. We've got Cholula's, apple cider vinegar, salt, and whatever that seasoning bottle was, and it's gone. Just some McCormick's, right? Just real quick. This is going to be low calorie. The pork chops are very lean. The butter's mainly in here for a cooking sauce. If you pull the pork chops out and separate it from the sauce, it's going to be a very high protein, low fat item. If you're more towards maintenance, you might want to thicken that sauce. You could do that with a xanthan gum or something like that. If you want a low carb thickener, you could also use stock and reduce it. You could use cold butter to thicken it, and that could be more of a maintenance type diet. You know, do you? But that's 2.8 pounds of pork, which is going to be numerous servings for the week. Now, if I was really balling, we would have another crock pot right there, and I would throw chicken quarters in it, and then just a different bottle of seasoning, and then we'd have chicken quarters, and then over there in the dual oven, we would throw in maybe a rib roast or something, a piece of beef that we could cook up, maybe a flank steak. We'd sear that up and cook that down, then we'd have beef, we'd have pork and chicken for the week. We'd get it all done in under an hour. Anyways, this is KetoDick. This is how he keto cooks. I'll make some keto-fied crap later in my life, but I wanted to start with the basics. I'm also going to teach you guys how to cook vegetables better because I've seen some of your plates, and some of you have sad, wet vegetables that you took out of a steamer bag and you put them on a plate in a pile of water, and just you need not to do that for yourself because vegetables don't have to be gross, and some of you make gross vegetables. This has been KetoDick. I love you, even if you make gross vegetables. As always, I want to point out I'm not a doctor. I'm kind of a cook. I work at a kitchen now, so kind of a cook. All of my information is just stuff you should look up for yourself. I'm not qualified in any way, shape, or form. Please take care of your own health. I'm just a dude on the internet. Nothing I say is valid at all. You take it or leave it as you want to, but these pork chops are going to be delicious. You better believe that. I'm available for 15 months of coaching for a limited time until I get my 50th spot filled up. You get 15 months for $960. Which pans out to less than $80 a month for personal attention. That being said, I do want to say happy birthday to one of my coaching clients. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you know who you are. Happy birthday to you. All right, and with that, I'm going to sign off. Will, it was great that you caught the end of my broadcast. Sarah, great that you're here. Shannon Hall Kelly, as always, it was enjoyable. You guys get out there. Get yourself one of these $20 crock pot dealios. Back in the old school, if you're not on that Instapot Ninja stuff that they do now with the pressure cookers. Those are cool too. You do the same thing in the Instapot, right? And you could use less butter if the butter bothered you. You could just use a drizzle of olive oil or something to help it cook. You wouldn't have to use any of that. The apple cider vinegar is just for a little bit of acidity, also moisture to help transmit the heat inside the crock pot. Really is no real science to this. So just throw some meat, throw some seasonings, a little bit of salt, spices, you know, hot sauce if you like things spicy, and get yourself meal prep for the week. Those of you guys that are making way too many excuses about I didn't have time to meal prep, meals don't get faster than that. You know, it would take me as much time to pass around a phone and ask people what they want on their pizza from Grubhub. So, and that was, what did I say it was? It was $1.99 a meat, $2.8 pounds at $2 a piece, so a little bit $5.60 in meat in the crock pot, and that's going to be 2.8 pounds. That's going to be numerous meals for under $6. And then, I don't know, $1 of the seasonings. It's affordable. You didn't need any crazy stuff. That wasn't grass-fed butter. It would be better if it was. If I was a rich man, I would eat only grass-fed butter, but that was Walmart butter, all right? Somebody come by and drizzle MCT oil in this thing so I don't get fired. I'm KetoDick. Guys, enjoy your weekend. I know I will.